Addiction is not a death sentence.
You are now about to witness the greatest show on earth. Music in Mayhem. Music in Mayhem.
I'm Manny Vitale.
It's Skylar Ray, baby. This is Music in Mayhem.
Well, we got a little bit of everything going on here with our intros. We figured mess around. I had that one queued up along with our other one with My Fight Our War. And that's what popped up. So that's all right. How you doing, everybody? I'm Manny Vitale, host of My Fight Our War and co-host of Music in Mayhem with Skylar Ray. It is Thursday. It is, I think, March the 20th. I think I'm being nodded at and saying yes. So I'm right. It's Thursday the 20th. Hope you guys are having a good day. And let's get OG in the house here.
Okay, here we are.
See that I did that all by myself. It's Thursday the 20th.
So good.
And here it is for those of you in Detroit, Michigan, celebrating the first day of spring, along with some snow flurries. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome spring. But it's all good. It's gonna be a little chilly for a few days, but it's gonna be warming up again. So all is well. But other than that, we just want to jump on here and chit chat a little bit, throw around some things that are happening, go over things that we did with last night's show. We had a good show, as always, as we do with Music and Mayhem. We had a lot of interaction. Love having the more the better with you guys, man.
Oh, yeah.
The feedback that we get, because a lot of times, we got our topics and stuff that we throw out there, and those are just kind of just like a little game plan that we have to just those topics. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
King Handsome, my God, brother, your ears must have been ringing because
we were talking about you.
In front of me, I have the We Ain't Up schedule, and that's because King Handsome is going on tour. King Handsome, my brother, I tell you what, you are one hard-working dude, man. And it shows. It shows in your work. It shows in your craft. You are one hell of a rapper. Your intensity and all that. I love you, brother. And just looking at this is just some of the stuff he has going on, and we're gonna put it up there. And in fact, if you want, hey, whoa, why don't you throw it up there right now? What I've got is your lineup. You could catch him in Boston, Mass tomorrow. I don't have the times on here, brother. I just have your dates. So throw that in there if you can, along with your times.
And you can post it.
Check out King Handsome, man. And March 21st in Boston, then Lancaster on the 22nd. What the heck is that? New York. Somewhere in New York. And then you're going to be in Brooklyn, and then you're going to be in Fall River on the 25th of March. June 28th, Portland, Oregon, and again on the 29th, August 29th, Fall River, and then, of course, August 30th, the one everyone's looking forward to, is in New Milford.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when we're all going to be together, man. All of us are going to be together. Looking forward to it. But we'll go ahead and we'll post this up there for everybody to see that, because you sure can't see it on here.
No.
But check out my brother King Handsome, man. I tell you what, you can see a lot of them collaborating with a lot of other just incredible artists. Of course, my brother Skylar Ray and everybody. But love you, man. Can't wait to see you. It's going to be a lot of fun. As I told OG in the past, when I look down at the name of all of us that are going to be in the same place at the same time, my first thought was bring bail money. Because, I mean, I know in the past, things got crazy. but we can still get crazy. Just have to maybe tone it down a little. And our what was it that we were all talking about? Our after event get together for our late night dinner / early breakfast or something like that. When we all get to sit around just ourselves and chit chat about the event, how things went. Because OG, you were there with well, it was not the last time we were in New York. It was the time before that when
with Ian and his dad.
when
Oh.
I had stay in the studio and you went over and represented us over at
New Milford.
Coach in New Milford.
Yeah, for the
At the
Christmas
event,
party.
and it's just a lot of people, a lot going on. These events that are going on that we attend are huge. I mean, you got all the people from from town, from New Milford that are there, and it's not just New Milford, man. It's all the surrounding areas that come, and unfortunately, I wasn't there because I had prior engagements at the studio. But OG said it was just people everywhere, great time, and that's how these are. I mean, you go there, just like in June, we've got a event with Lori and
Athens.
a Ride With Me Addiction Support Group in June in Athens, Alabama, and Lori has been busting her butt putting this thing together, and between, I mean, just the event itself. Everything that goes along with it is just mind blowing. The location, the chairs, the vendors, food, drink, having stuff set up. Then, having people come to the event that are, that are guest speakers. Then you have the entertainment, all of this. And, Lori just been tearing it up, doing an amazing job for I don't know how many years this makes in a row for her doing this event. But we got the privilege of My Fight or War is going to be part of it.
Yep.
And I've been very blessed by and going to be a guest speaker. Jack Lane, how are you? Good to see you, honey. So it's going to be a great time in Athens, Alabama on June. This was the 7th and 8th, I believe. I think it's the 6th is
when we fly in.
Get there.
There's something going on
we
the
got
6th.
a meet and greet that
and then on the 7th is the big show.
Yeah, the meet and greet is the day. I don't know when I don't know if that's the day we fly in, where we all get together.
Fly in that day, yeah.
And we all get to have a meet and greet and talk to everybody. Really looking forward to that, because not only is it going to be the people in the surrounding areas of Athens, Alabama, and everyone else that Lori and all of her amazing family there have lined up, but there's a lot of people coming from surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Sandra Brown, happy Thursday, back at you. My man Donald Blow, doing great. Yes, it's sure going to be amazing. Now, Jacqueline, aren't you coming to? I thought she was coming to. Well, why am I asking you? I'm Jacqueline. To one of our events. I believe it was Alabama, because either that or if it's not, you're coming to New York with us. Yes. Really looking forward to meeting you, and really appreciate all you guys popping on here. And, it's going to be nice getting to be able to sit down in person and just sit there and take some pictures and just share some stories. And I tell you what, I'm, us old Dagos, and especially, there's some about first responders and also bikers. Everyone sees bikers in the club I rode with, and you see these guys. We all wear our black and our Harleys and stuff like that. The first thing you do, you'll notice especially when we see each other, is there's no handshake going on. There's hugs. Yep. I mean, you got bikers get together. We're huggers, man. And you get, as long as you're the right person. I mean, you either get a hug or a punch in the face. But But no, seriously. So Jacqueline and everybody just get ready because I've got plenty of hugs to go around. Tyler, the man who had a debut last night, his first appearance on Music and Mayhem. I forgot to pop everyone on here. Let's pop Tyler on here. Tyler, now what'd you do?
I'm on my phone. You're sideways.
Well, I'm not here. You're not even on.
Uh oh. I'm not.
Yep. Now you're there.
Okay, wait a second. What am I doing? What the hell?
What did you touch?
Oh, I'm not the. I tried to see if I have my iPad, and I tried to comment on my iPad because I can't comment on my phone when I'm at home, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work because I sent a little like a waving hand, and it looks like I got all this. You see a waving hand?
It's it's got you. It just has an L, and it's got a waving hand to
okay.
whoever. So it's there.
That's not what I see. I see YT3GGPHT blah 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 blah. It doesn't. Forget it. I'm not gonna mess with it.
It's got your name and a waving hand.
Okay, great.
Is what the rest of us see.
Okay, good.
So let's just go right back down the line. My brother King Handsome, we already threw out. He's got his concert going. His tour is just tearing it up, man. He is just one hard-working dude, man. I mean, King Handsome is always either in the studio. If he's not in the studio, he's at the club. If he's not at the club, he's on tour. So God bless you, brother. Love you. And then, of course, Jacqueline's going to be joining us in Alabama. Can't wait to see you. Sandra, thank you for popping on, and happy Thursday to you.
Mm-hmm.
My man Donald will be seeing you shortly. You already got Donald set up, don't you?
Yep. You're gonna Monday.
This coming Monday?
Mm-hmm.
There you go, brother. We're going to be seeing Donald, talking to him about his story. So thank you for that, brother. And of course, Jacqueline is there. Man, what'd she say? Most definitely Alabama. Wish it was New York.
Good. That's okay.
1,500 days clean and sober tomorrow.
Congratulations.
You're awesome. Freaking warrior, man. Love you. That is awesome, man. So happy for you. And thank you for sharing that with us, too. My brother, old Tyler, man, made his debut on Music and Mayhem last night because he was informing us he had a couple of announcements to make. And he told OG, and we weren't sure what they were. He just said he had some things that he wanted to share.
Yeah.
And that was that he has been training for his MMA, which he's been doing great at. So good that they are scheduling his first fight. So it's going to be sometime in June, I believe he said.
Mm-hmm.
So he announced that on our show last night, and very happy for you, man. You got to pick out what song they're going to play for you from my man Skyler.
That's
You're going to have to let us know what that is. Well, we enjoyed having you on, man.
Mm-hmm.
And our news member, Kevin Herbert, welcome to the family, my man. Kevin is going to be joining us as well. I'm not sure if, did you get a chance to reach out to Kevin?
I'll be reaching out to Kevin and Luke tomorrow because you got the information at your place. So these
are individuals that are friends of my good brother, my friend of mine, Brad McLeod from Sober's Cool.
Nice.
Who I just love, man.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Brad go back a ways. It's I actually had a great opportunity yesterday. I was a guest on his show again, and the whole point of the show was it was 2 years later where are they now? And that's because when I first did his show, it was me basically just popping on, telling my story. I mean, I just formed My Fight Our War on January the 9th, 2023. And didn't know what the hell I was doing. and I just threw my story out there. I sat down with my phone, hit play or hit record, and sat there and told my story. I didn't know if anyone wanted to hear it, if anyone cared about it. I just let her rip to get people. I mean, here I started My Fighter War January 8th, 2023. My Fighter War didn't exist. My man behind me, my wolf, the logo, the hat you see on OG, the logo there. My Fighter War did not exist on January the 8th of 2023. It was just a thought up here that night. And this is the piece of paper that my lovely drawing of. That's a wolf, people. Yes, it is. It's that's the actual paper that that night on the 8th, I got out of the living room, sat down, and decided I'm finally going to form a social media family. And out of nowhere, the grace of God above, man, I wrote down My Fight, Our War. And January the 9th, when I woke up, sat down, formed this on social media. And January the 9th that just passed, we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary. And but when we first started, I just threw that video out there, and I got a message from Brad that either he saw it on social media or someone saw it and got his attention, and he wanted to talk to me. So we chit chatted a bit about doing the show, and that was the first one I ever did, and I had a riot. Never did one before. Never did a podcast. Never was interviewed, and we just let her rip. Had a great time, and next thing you know, we stay in touch all this time, and swap information on guests and shows, and here all of a sudden I get a message asking to be a return guest on one of their featured shows where they are now. So that was a big honor for me to do that yesterday. So Kevin, welcome to the madness. Welcome to My Fight War. I tell you what, we are full of a lot of just crazy individuals here. We are not your cookie cutter organization / whatever. We are a family of just crazy some bitches, man. And you will find people that one thing you will not find is any pressure. You're not going to sit there having people, scolding you or looking down on you or shaming you or any. That's not us, man. I tell you what, you're going to have people who are going to be telling their stories, crying their eyes out. You're going to have people telling their story who are fuming mad, screaming, pissed off at the world and motherfucking everybody. Oh yeah, that's me. Because that is me. I said I will never change, and I will never sugarcoat stuff. I mean, addiction is what it is, and it's mean, cruel, ugly. It's a bitch, and it needs to be treated that way. And that's how we are at My Fight or War. We come at you hard, and we will love you, support you, motivate you, and when you need that kick in the ass, we will give it to you, man. Because we will offer you all the support and ideas and options. But like I said, we will never force anything on anybody. Like you have to do this, or if you don't do this, you will fail. If you don't do it this way is the only way. There is no only way. When it comes to addiction, there is no one way. I said it when I first started this, man. I go, listen, we're not inventing the wheel. We've been around for all these years helping people. When you first hear of anything with addiction, the first thing you think of is like AA, Al-Anon, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, all these other amazing organizations that are still here. They haven't gone anywhere. But for whatever reason, man, this shit just gets swept under the rug because people don't want to talk about it. Well, here we talk about it, and we don't sit there and sugarcoat stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, well, we don't want to offend anybody. Well, if it's going to help someone stay alive, we'll offend everybody in the room. And that's because until addiction is talked about with the same intensity as when people talk about people with cancer, people with diabetes, people with MS, people with all these other terrible diseases, and we're not doing our due justice. So we have to keep wrinkling or ruffling feathers until people start listening. It's like it doesn't matter who you are, what color you are, how much money you make, if you're working, if you're not. Addiction doesn't care. So either do we, man. We will come at you any way we can to help. So bottom line, Kevin, welcome.
Welcome, Kevin. Take a look at Jacqueline's message. She got one that she was behind an SUV. Take a look at that.
I was behind an SUV yesterday, and the tag said Wolfpack, and I had to go outside to make sure it wasn't Manny. I tell you what, I would love to have that. Someone's asked me if I ever considered having like a wrap done on the truck for advertisement. Instead of having the old days, the only thing you could do is like these custom pinstripe paint jobs, advertisement things for the side of the truck, the back tailgate or something like that. And you got all these places, man. They just do these wraps where, you just put this on your truck and, you don't, when you're done with that truck, like mine's leased, pull that up, put it on your next truck. I think that looked cool as hell. On
we ought to try
truck.
that. Let's figure out how to do that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different places right up here that I deal with some of the guys that I know that do stuff like this, like with the window tinting and stuff. These guys that deal with these types of things. Yeah, man, you see that black, white, and red logo with that wolf coming at you. I'll get your attention. So, that would. I would love that. So we're going to look into that, Jacqueline. Thank you for bringing that up.
Good idea.
Yes. What did Tyler say? I'm going to order.
Recover out loud here. Oh, his T-shirt or a tank top. What was it? Tank top?
I'm going to order my Fighter War tank top.
Yeah.
There you go. We will send the platform for the link so you can pick up some t-shirts, some hat, or nope, damn it, they don't have the hat.
No.
We still I am working on that because we get a lot of people wanting hats. That's just one of the ones that OG's got there.
I got this one, and then there's a black one on the yeah, there you go.
This one here. There's different styles.
Yeah.
So especially going to these events, because we have we've got a lot of people who've been asking for hats. We've got a lot of people asking to buy t-shirts, tank tops, our logos, and
Jackie's asking how to order like the t-shirts and things like that.
Jackie, I tell you what, I am going to send you a link to your messenger. And
but if you go to My Fight Our War, isn't it right there anyway?
You gotta, but it was.
We gotta buy some hats. We gotta get.
Yeah. We're gonna go to my vendor. OG's got to remind me. She's got to put it on my list.
Up on the list.
I get my list every morning.
Every day.
from OG. I got a list, and sometimes it's like one or two things. Other times it's like
long.
I mean, this is short. So we'll take care of that with hats. That way, when we come to the events as well, this will be our first one. Coming out there with some merchandise and stuff. So we will be doing that. Donald had definitely get some hats going out there. Get the My Fight Our War Army out in force, man. Because I've always told people, when you see people wearing, I'm representing Detroit here, but I got my logo, I got my wolf behind me. We got
there we go.
You see somebody wearing that, that's our badge of honor. You see somebody, because these are sold. We've got people around the world wearing this stuff. We've got people in the Philippines. We got people, in Ireland and all over who are wearing My Fight Our War gear. And as I said to people, when you're walking around and all of a sudden you notice somebody and you happen to see someone wearing that, you picture that as a safe place. That's a safe place. You could approach anyone who's wearing that stuff, and that that's a person of integrity, a person who is willing to help you out. Like I said, it's our badge of honor. I'm getting this from there. Oh, I just got a message from Coach.
Oh,
and I reminding him, I would definitely like to see him. And yeah, he's looking forward to seeing us.
Yay!
Did you
Yay,
line up
Coach.
Anna, Rick, and Mona?
Well, he needs to come on.
Yep, I definitely want him to come on. But he informed us that yeah, we will be seeing him as we were discussing before because of the situation getting
Next
there.
weekend.
So we for those of you going, what the hell are you talking about?
It's our every 6-week thing.
And check this out. I'm gonna rock some My Fight Our War when I come out on fight night. I tell you what, brother, you come walking out to the ring with that wolf on there. Oh yeah, you already got your opponent psyched. But yeah, we got a lot going on. This week is it's the madness is will be starting. We are heading out, as those of you who've been following us know, that we shoot out to New York every 6 weeks.
Yep.
To our lovely home away from home, White Plain, New York. My favorite little airport. Just love going there. All 4 gates.
All 4 gates.
You know,
so small.
Here you leave. We're coming out of Detroit Metro Airport, where there's
148 or something
gates.
like that.
148 gates.
I believe it. That's what.
Like, I don't know how many terminals, people everywhere. I remember the first time I went to the studio in New York, and we flew in. Know nothing about anything. All I know is I'm going to New York to the studio, do these shows. So we land, get off the plane, walk down the little, whatever it is, runway, and the concourse there. And I look and I see all these people standing there. Okay. Walk over and I'm looking right out the door, like onto the street. I'm like, huh, okay. Must be like one of the
terminals,
the exit or something like that. So I'm looking around. It's like, man, and I'm still not paying attention. Like I said, it's my first time in New York. I'm excited. And we got to get right to the studio. So we walk out, and I'm not paying attention behind me. I'm looking towards the lot because we're looking for our car. So we get there, and again, I'm not looking back towards the airport. I'm just focusing on the car. We get in the car, which is a freaking adventure with OG driving. Oh my God.
You're in one piece, okay?
We get in this car, and she goes to put it in drive, and the blinkers go on. Then she goes to put it in drive, the wipers go on. And it's just an adventure. So we leave, and we get to we go to the studio. We spend the weekend there, do the shows, and now we got to head back to White Plain, New York, the airport. So now, obviously, I'm tired from 3 days of taping, and we get there, and as we're getting close, I'm looking up, and I see, airport, and go here, go there, and all of a sudden I look up, and I see a chain link fence as we're getting close to the airport, and I see the rear tail of airplanes backed in to like a parking space. I was like, the fuck is, and then it's like right next to the car return for the rental cars. I'm like, they parked the cars right next to the rental car return. So I'm like, what is this shit? So then now I'm paying attention. So I walk up, and here is, this little building, which I thought was like just one tiny corner of 147 other gates. No, we walk in, and you're in one room, and you either go to this corner or this corner. There was gates 1 and 2, gates 3 and 4. And then I look over, there's a concession stand. I turn around, there's security. So now every time I go there, I walk by, and people, they're like, hey, waving and shit. Oh, hi, how you doing? And TSA, a couple of people there. The one lady was great when we got laid over for 3 hours. I'm walking by, and people, I know I'm different because people are pissed off, angry. They're sitting there yelling at the poor girls at the gate who are informing people about the delay. They're getting yelled at. And I'm looking around, and you're either seeing these people who are just pissed off, and then you got the other people who are just kind of either that or sleeping or whatever. Yeah, I'm having a riot. I sitting there, I'm laughing, people watching, cracking jokes, having fun. So I think people are wondering, like, they either think I'm stoned or something, because I'm walking around laughing and, your flight's delayed. Yeah, no, 3 hours. Well, I mean, 3 hours. So it's just like, here I'm cracking up, and they're just like, what the hell? So I go by TSA, and they must think I'm nuts, because people get a little uncomfortable around like TSA or what, for whatever reason. There's me. I'm standing there just like checking out the 6 people working the whole thing. And it was like, the one guy or the one lady, I'm talking to her, waving. And it was just like, I said to OG the one time, I go, hey, wasn't she just working a concession stand? And then I go, wait a minute. I just saw that he was working, cleaning the restrooms. I go, I swear to God, that guy working the concession was our pilot. It's like they all just rotate jobs.
Small place.
Oh my God, I had a riot, and well, it was fun.
And they could take a look at Donald. He's like the one we fly from New Hampshire. There's one gate. It's an old military base. One gate.
See,
oh my
for
goodness.
people that that I don't know if you fly. I don't know if you fly a lot, Donald, or for people who fly a lot. I mean, this is nothing new to you guys. Me, I didn't fly my first time till I was, I think, 22 or something like that. I'd never flown. I just don't go anywhere. I go up north hunting. I love being out in the woods. And so now in the last couple of months, I've flown, I don't know how many times.
A lot.
I'm sorry. I got my own Sky Miles
account.
And yeah. So, for people, when I talk about this shit, they're like, well, yeah, no kidding, man. I'm like, I didn't know,
Yeah.
Shit.
And look at Jacqueline's comment.
Hopefully the seeing eye dog is yeah. Oh, see, and that's what I mean. Jacqueline, thank you for bringing that up as well. See, now you know I love having you on here, Jacqueline.
Remembers.
Yeah, it was the 3-hour delay. People just mean. I mean, probably me in my past, I was probably the prick too, but I mean, this guy just yelling at these poor young girls. And another guy's yelling at everyone else is, and there's me. And OG's just zoned out in her own little ear pod. What? I wasn't listening to you. I'm like, I know. So she just zones out. And me, I'm walking all around, just talking to people and just doing whatever. And it was just like, well, you know what? I'm just sitting there, and they delayed it again. So now it's like 3 hours. Now people are getting really pissed. So they show the door opens, and the pilot actually was talking, and the person who was next to me and OG was talking, and overheard the people, and the pilot explained what was going on, whatever. So, but people saw him, so I decided to go live. And what I did was, you don't know. I mean, when I go live, I never know what I'm going to say.
Oh, that's true.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, here we are in White Plain, New York. Our flight's delayed because of the high winds. And that was the day when that Delta flight flipped over and landed on its roof. It happened right before we were taking off. And the guy next to us decided to goes, oh, shit, look at this. As we're taxiing to go to the runway, we were literally getting ready to take off as he leans over and shows us upside down Delta plane, but which didn't matter to me, because as soon as I get on the plane, they drug me, and it's just like, I don't know what it is, but I'm out. But before that, though, I'm sitting there in the airport. Well, listen, these poor girls get yelled at. And so I go live, and I said, we're having a delay. It was 20 minutes. It's half hour. Now it's a 3-hour delay. Come to find out, what's happening is we've been running around because evidently the pilot's seeing eye dog got loose, and he's running around the concourse. And I go, we're trying to catch him. And I go, they're trying to get security involved. And, and I just kept talking. So I'm doing my live, doing my thing. I'm like, and the whole time I didn't start, and I didn't laugh. And I said, and this is going on. And all of a sudden I heard someone say, pilot seeing eye dog. And then all of a sudden someone goes, did he just say the pilot has a seeing eye dog? And I heard that. I was just like, yeah. So as soon as we could do that, and all of a sudden I looked to the left, here come 2 cops walking up to the girls. And so people are thinking the cops are helping look for a seeing eye dog. So I'm just sitting there, didn't laugh, didn't joke around. And I was like, well, I'm going to go help in the search. So I had a riot. But yeah, man, it was like, the things are what you make of them, man. I could have sat there
Mhm.
and bitched. But you know what? Instead, I had a riot, just like when we were in line on the way to the airport. When we first got there the Friday before, we're in this long zigzag line trying to get to TSA, and now it's backed up. So what happens? People bitch because they got to wait an extra 2 minutes. So they're sitting there, and we're in the line snaking through, trying to get to the front, and we stop. So there's just that little belt, that divides the
Mhm.
little snaking line that you go through. So we're stopped, and all of a sudden OG turns around. She goes, "Do you know how much they charge Santa for parking?" No, OG, how much? Nothing, because it's on the
On the
house.
house.
I was like, oh, and I just looked at her, and all of a sudden, the guy, we're going this way. The guy that was going this way, that was right next to us, he goes, I heard that one before, and he starts laughing, and then the line starts moving, so he takes off. Well, it just so happened when we
When you
got to the
sneak
next
around.
section, he stopped right next to me. So I go, hey, and he looks over. I go, you know what they call a bunch of sheep sliding down the hill? He goes, what? I go, a lamb slide. And he starts laughing. Now, meanwhile, the line's moving, but I ain't
Uh-huh.
moving, and he ain't moving. So people are back because we're telling jokes. So we met 2, 3 more times as we're going through. And
Mhm.
sure as shit, he had a joke, I had a joke, back and forth. Now these same people who are sitting there bitching about everything, every time we'd stop, a couple people in front of me and behind me and him,
And
they'd
listening,
stop and they
listening
were like,
for the
and then
jokes.
they start laughing. We had our own little show going on right
Mhm.
there. Oh, so I mean, you know what, people, just make the most of it. Have
Mhm.
fun. We only live once. We've wasted too much of our lives being miserable, unhappy, pissed off at the world, pissed off at everyone else, pissed off at ourselves for no good reason except to get shit faced and do
Mhm.
whatever. And now here we are, all of us having fun.
And
Um,
Donald made a comment that fits you kind of. Yeah, there you go.
I'd be in a store and just start talking to someone, and my fiance say, "You know him?" I'd be like, "No, we just have it." There you go. Hey, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's like, do you know that person? Not yet, but I will. And I've
Well,
said it before. These people in New York, man, I don't know who they are, but when we go to the airport now, the one from TSA, she's like, "Hey, Manny," hi, and go to the airport. Our friends from the restaurant. Well, the one's no longer there because we went and we got the same guy, Jason. God bless him. He was our waiter every Friday morning when we fly out to New York. We would get to the airport early, and
mhm.
because OG's driving, and we have to be there 14 hours early. So, anyways, we
Well,
get there early, and we go to the same restaurant, and we have a great egg sandwich breakfast. It's like our routine now every 6 weeks.
mhm.
Just so happened that first time we got this real nice dude, this young guy, and started making comments. Yeah, I don't know what. As soon as he walked,
Muscle man.
yeah,
Something
we made
about.
some comment, and we just kind of joked around. The follow next time, 6 weeks later, walk in, there he is. For the next like 3, 4 months, whatever it was, every 6 weeks we'd see him. We'd see him there, and now we've got this relationship joking around. Last time we're there, walk in, and we're looking, don't see Jason. So it's like, what the hell? So we sit down, and this other lady pops up, and we're like, man, must be shorthanded or something. She goes, yeah. And I go, well, what, Jason call in? And she goes, Jason no longer works here. He got in a fight with another employee. What? He goes, yeah, shoved a loaf of bread down someone's shirt. I'm like, what? And I looked at OG. I go, you know what? She just stopped it. Got in a fight. Now I'm like, you sure it was a fight?
Throw
I mean, you sure this wasn't I don't know, but shoving a loaf of bread down
red down
someone's
somebody's
shirt.
shirt.
It's like, yeah, then he took some butter and he shoved it in my ear. I was
That's
like, woo,
violent one.
damn, you crazy airport workers. So yes, you have fun. And I've said it on a
Yeah,
show before. It's like, how do you know all these people?
yeah.
I said,
You
I
just
said
talk to him.
hello. I said
Uh-huh.
hi. I said,
Say good night to Tyler though. He's got to go to bed. He's got to be at the gym early.
Good
night,
night, Tyler. Get some sleep, brother.
Yeah.
But I always tell people, man, every day you're one hello away from meeting your best friend, your new best friend, your new member of the family. One hello away. That's all it takes. It could be someone you're just sitting there in line at the store. If someone you're walking. Yeah, someone passes you. Hey, how you doing? Just something that simple could turn into a relationship that your new best friend, man. And I've been very blessed by all of you. We got our brother John who's on. Well, thank you, John. Looking forward to I know that wasn't it you and who was John talking to? Remember we had an ongoing conversation about coming on the show or being part of the family, and it was him and someone else kind of supporting each other.
Talking he about, and Donald? It was he and Donald, wasn't it?
There you go. It was. I think that's what it was. So there you are, and here you got two members of the family here chit chatting again.
Exactly.
So, Tyler, go to sleep. Go to your room, Tyler.
Get some rest.
You turn those lights off. I don't want to hear any music coming from your room. Good night, Tyler.
Yeah. Sweet dreams.
What did that'd be me checking the x-ray machines.
Okay.
Well, when I go to the airport,
he blows them up.
Oh, when I go through, I gotta tell them, because sometimes I'll put you through. There's the two. The one's the metal detector where normal people can go through, and then they've got the full body scanner where it loops around you and it does the full body X-ray. Well, the one time, not the one time, every time before I go in, I always tell them multiple implants with screws and bolts and plates all over my shoulder, hip, back. And so first thing they do, as soon as I finish the scan, they're just standing there staring at me, and they're like, "Please step aside." We got to do this. And then the one time they had me go through the wrong one, the regular metal detector, and OG went first. And all of a sudden, this guy from security goes, "Excuse me, sir." He goes, "You have to go through the special or the other one." And I'm like, "What the hell?" And she was in front of me and told the guy, about me.
Implants.
I mean, I've had my right knee, right hip, right shoulder replaced. I've got anchors in my elbow, a plate under my eye, pins in my shoulder, plates in my left knee. I mean, so when I go through, they're just like,
"What?"
Yeah, and then it was the big surprise is when they did pull me aside, which I did not. I wasn't surprised by that at all because I told them, so they're going to take my word for it. So of course they're going to do the scan, the pat down.
Yep.
But what did surprise me is where they decided to pat me down, and that's because as soon as I walked through, this guy's like, he's trying to be all professional and shit. He's like, "Sir, you did set off the detection in the scanner." And I'm like, "Well, I fucking told you,
I know.
And he goes, "Well, it shows up as hot spots on the scanner are areas that have to be checked." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, your groin lit up as a hot spot on the scanner." And I was like, "Well, thank you." I go, "Hey, can you a little louder?" Hey, row, row one here, aisle one. I just lit the scanner. My groin lit the scanner up, and he's like, "Yeah, we could pat you down. We have to pat you down now. We can do it in this nice, this private room." And I go, "Oh, I bet no way there, Karen. I don't fucking know you." I go, No. You get, first he's like, "I could do this." I go, "Wait a minute. You didn't even ask me my name. You didn't take me to dinner. You didn't buy me a drink. Now you just want to sit there and take me into a private room." And people are walking by looking, they're just laughing. And he's trying to be all professional. "I'll be using the back of my hand. I will be gently touching." And I was just like, I go, "Yeah, no dinner, no nothing, right? Okay." And his partner's trying not to laugh. They're just sitting there. So it's always an adventure when I go through TSA. Oh, and it didn't help that the damn dog
And then
The freaking drug sniffing dog was
drug
following
sniffing
me.
dog following.
She
It was
turns.
years ago. Years ago.
I'm walking, and all of a sudden, I notice OG's kind of looking behind her, and she's walking. All of a sudden, she goes like this, and all of a sudden, she starts laughing, and she goes, "You're being followed." And I was like, "What?" Ah! There's this dog. He just, he's like pointing, like, oh, hey,
Take a look. John's got a question for you.
no. Manny Vitale, what substances
His
did
reading
you
is a
struggle
problem.
with? Substances, the ones that make me not be able to read. Do you feel like your surgeries or the medicines you were prescribed played any role in your addiction?
It's a typo.
No, mine, just, I don't mean to laugh, just reminded me of something. And it's so fitting that I'm wearing this. The Danbury Trashers, that one part of, remember when they're talking to T-Bone when he was the equipment manager and AJ decided to bring him on. And you're like, here was this crazy coach. He goes, he was my coach, high school or whatever, coach, little kids. He goes, here's this big guy. And he goes, he's taking the pucks away from us little kids. And then he's slamming us into the boards.
Yep.
And then there's T-Bone sitting there laughing. He goes, did I slam kids into the boards? He goes, yes, I did. He goes, cocaine's a wonderful drug. And he's not, and so as soon as you said, so John, I can guess you're going, you know where I'm going. So mine was definitely alcohol and cocaine. And oh my God, yes. And I don't know if you were a wrestling fan, John, but there was an episode on damn it, what is it? Where they're not rivals, but
the WWE stuff.
They were just basically talking about their careers, and how they started going through their careers and stuff and how it went. And another one was Shawn Michaels when he was with the Rockers with Marty Jannetty, and he was in Vegas. They were doing a show and an event that weekend in Vegas, and he said that he was a lot younger than some of them, where they couldn't even get drink. He was 20 or something like that. But he said that in Vegas, that was the first time that he was introduced to the old yayo. And there's Shawn Michaels. He goes, oh, yes, that first time. He goes, I remember doing it. He goes, and afterwards, he goes, all I thought was, this stuff is great. He goes, so if you're looking for two little snippets to put into your anti-drug crusade, don't put the ones I just said in, because here you got T-Bone. Did I do all these things? Yes, I did. Cocaine's a wonderful drug. And then you got Jeanette or Shawn Michaels saying, after he did that first line, this stuff, because I tell you, it's that false sense of security, that instant, high that, you're unstoppable. And, but John, as far as the other things with the surgeries, as you got to worry about is obviously with pain medication.
Mm-hmm.
That could be an issue. I've had, this is going to be.
Never been an issue for you.
This is over 50 surgical procedures that I've had. And
truly,
when I say 50, people, no, you haven't. Well, yeah, I have.
Yes.
But when I say surgical procedures, I'm not saying a complete. Well, I've had 3 total knees in 3 years. My right shoulder was replaced, which is now I'm in the process of having that done. This is the 7th surgery on my right shoulder. I've had 4 on my left shoulder, 9 on anyways. But then I've also had smaller procedures where they've had scopes done. And even though you're not, spending 8 hours.
Still a procedure.
It's still a surgical procedure. So when I was talking to my one doctor, and we were talking about that, because he was going down the line of all my surgeries. And he's talking about some of these procedures. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, it's still a surgical procedure.
Mm-hmm.
You were still, put under anesthesia for all this. But this has been going on since I was my first knee surgery. I was, I think, 19, and I'm 59 now. And so you do the math. And,
Mhm.
so for me, I'm basically in pain every single day. And,
Mhm.
with all the surgeries, and even though you have the surgical repair done, the damage is done, man. And
Mhm.
it's not only now that area is a fix, but it's called connective tissue for a reason. The hip bone's connected to the knee bone's connected, all that shit. Well, think about it. My knee's jacked up. So, or whoever, if you're walking different with that knee, what are you
You're
doing?
missing your
You
hip
are
and your back.
throwing your hip out. You're throwing your low back out. Your whole
Mhm.
gait pattern's different. So now you're getting undue wear and tear on different body parts. So for me, I went so long that these other areas, but for pain medication, I had guys that found out about my surgery, and instead of, oh my God, man, how you doing? How you feeling, stuff like that. The guys I rode with were like, oh my God, how what'd they give you for pain? I'll buy this from you. I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Jeez.
I'm not kidding either, man. They
Yeah.
would buy but they were buying it to get the high, from the medication. With me, it's always
It's
the
not the
pain
high.
medication for me, what it was, it took the edge off from the freaking pain, man, just so I could do my job because I do not handle sitting on the sideline well at all. I mean, and I'm not just trying to talk shit, to be like a tough guy or anything like that. I hate missing work. Um, my injuries, I tore my left tricep. I was at the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. This was a year and a half ago. I'm working out with OG was there. There was a few
Mhm.
people at the gym. It was Saturday morning. I have to be at work at 9 a.m. I'm in there working out 6 o'clock. And I was having issues, of course, with my shoulder still. And also I'm benching.
Always.
And I had 285. I was benching out on that, just doing some reps. And all of a sudden, my left elbow popped and it came down, would put all the pressure on my bad replaced right shoulder. I was able to rack it. I'm screaming,
No,
and OG's like, is
he
your
was
shoulder?
awful.
And
He
I'm
was
yelling,
awful.
no, I'm like elbow, and I'm holding my elbow. There's only a few other people in the gym. I'm holding onto my elbow. And to me, it literally felt like blood was pouring out of my elbow, is what it felt like. You can actually
Mhm.
feel the fluid filling up my elbow. It went from a normal elbow to the size of a baseball within seconds, all the blood. And what happened
Mhm.
was I tore my left tricep tendon 90% in half. It was at 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. At 9 o'clock in the morning, I was at work at Harley Davidson, moving Harleys around with the ace wrap around it. Didn't tell anybody at work because I didn't want to miss because they would have sent me home. So I wrap up my elbow with an ace wrap. I was off Sunday and Monday because of work. I was
Yeah,
off those two
Saturday. Yeah.
days. Tuesday, I go see my doctor. Wednesday, they order a CAT scan on my elbow. Thursday, they get the results of the scan.
CAT scan.
Friday morning, he calls me at work saying, Manny, you're scheduled for surgery on Monday. Your triceps, a high grade tear, it's 90% torn. And I'm like, holy shit. I go, well, I got to talk to my boss. He goes, I go, I'm at work right now. He goes, how are you?
How are you?
Because I know these guys very well. And, you know, so that's just it. I have a very high pain tolerance. And, so for when I take the pain medicine, it's
Yeah,
just
not for.
basically, it's taken away that there's so much involved that I'm focusing on just doing my, the job and stuff like that, where it's like that euphoric high. It's just like,
Mm-mm.
what is it like? I mean, I almost feel cheated. It's like, well, what is it? These guys are telling me about, being high from this shit. And I'm like, well, I can make it through the workday, lifting these 800, 900 pound Harleys up. But yeah, so John, all the stuff was, yeah, that was my experiences and the surgeries. Besides just screwing me up, it wasn't because of the surgeries as far as feeding into the issues where I know it can definitely happen, man. You get people who maybe who have never had experiences with any type of addiction, no issues with drugs or alcohol at all. I mean, just everyday, again, normal, whatever that is, people have an injury or have something happen where they have to have surgery. And, maybe it's something as simple as a rotator cuff tear. Well, it's still surgery, and they give you pain medicine to control it. Well, someone now who's never had anything at all, and they're prescribed whatever they happen to give you, with Percocet or Oxy or whatever your doctor gives you for pain management. Now, then again, they're the hiding monster right there. If you let it, you take that medicine as directed. We had a few people popping on there. That froze for a second, but we had people say how terrible the pain medicine is. And it's just people get pissed at me because what? Well, no, it's not. For anybody. And I'm talking any drug. And this is, I kind of got a lot of weird stares at this. It's not alcohol's problem. Alcohol's legal. It's not. People could drink and drink and drink. That's not an issue. The issue is when it becomes, it involves your ability to, first of all, like drinking and driving is illegal. Drinking is not illegal. Being drunk is not illegal. Being drunk driving is illegal. I don't, so I hope we know where I'm going with that. But, when I even told people that we were talking about drugs, any drug could be misused. Any drug. It's not the narcotics fault. People are sitting there blaming Oxy. They're blaming all this. You know who you blame? Look in the mirror. You're the one who took the fucking medicine. You took it improperly. You took too much of it. Now, it's got a grip on you. Yes, it does. But so does alcohol, and which is legal. The medication is legal as long as it's prescribed for you under the right conditions. If it says take one pill every 4 hours, you take one pill every 4 hours. You don't change your own prescription and take 4 pills every 2 hours. So then people are bitching about the medication because you tripled your own dosage. So people have to, first of all, take responsibility. It's up to us to take responsibility for our own actions. And I said that all along, man. For me, it's like we have to own it. Until we own our own responsibilities and our own actions, it will always own us.
True. Well, how was that answer, John?
I'm not done. Yeah, and I'm not done.
No, of course not.
I will never be done with this. Is because the whole thing with this with addiction is I've had people, and that's why with My Fight Our War, man, we are, Jacqueline, I love that accountability. I love you.
Exactly.
Thank you. And I will never point the finger at someone and shame them. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and feed into your poor me. Don't poor you. Hey, poor me. But you know whose fault it was? Manny's fault. Who did it? Manny did. I did. I'm the one who sat there and went from drinking a beer and a shot to drinking 12 beers in a pint. I went from drinking 16 to 24 beers to a fifth. That was me. No one sat there and held a gun to my head. I'm the one who sat there and started doing drugs on my own. No one forced me to do it. My responsibility. So when people sit there and they say, it's to get sober and stay sober, it's the element. You need to stay away from that element. Well, for me, I say if you need, and this is for each individual person, if you have to, separate yourself from whatever, like if the element is alcohol, because I had people say that if you have an issue with drinking, actually said, do not go into bars, do not go into places where they're promoting alcohol. There are people who cannot be around that because of that fear of relapse. And if you need to be away, then stay away.
Stay away.
I'm telling you right now, stay away. For me, I'd go to the casino. I go to bars. I go to all these places. Why? Because I can. Because I, by the grace of God, I have no urge to drink at all. And you're looking at a guy who's never had counseling. I went from drinking a fifth and a half a day at the end before I was told I was going to be dead in 48 hours, less than 6 weeks, to 48 hours dead from drinking. And this was during 2020 with COVID. So when I got out of the hospital, the beginning of March, the world was shut down.
Mhm.
Everything was closed. So when I went to these organizations to have, very strict 24/7 rehab recovery for addiction, I was turned away because of COVID. They're like, we don't, the only thing you could do is, if I was told, if I had issues with cravings or withdrawal symptoms, or I felt like I was going to harm myself, go to ER. That's what I was told. I called these other organizations who said the same thing. Call us. We can talk to you, but you can't come here. You can't come here. But by the grace of God, I never had one craving, no withdrawals. It's like I've never drank or did drugs before. I have been extremely blessed. And I do realize that that's not how it works. But all I can tell you is how it worked for me. I cannot speak for anyone else. Nobody can. You can't tell me how I feel. I can't tell you how you feel. But when I did have this issue with this person saying how, no, you cannot be around this element, I'm like, so it's the element's fault that I did these things. The element did it. The
liquor store.
The element jumped into my glass. The element jumped into my veins. The element did this. No, I'm the one that chose to get the element. But 100% though, I totally agree with, if you have any issues with that temptation and you feel like you're going to relapse, then definitely stay away. I am not a freaking idiot. But this person was going on to, when he said that for him, what he had to do and his organization, they state that you have to completely change your life. You have to stop talking to these people. First of all,
Could be family.
I asked him, I go, who are these people? Well, the ones that, with the drinking issues. So people that drink. Well, if they're going to be drinking, you cannot be around them. So your brother's kid's first birthday party, the whole entire family's there for your nephew's first birthday. They are social drinkers. You can't go. Nope. If there's alcohol there, he shouldn't go. Wow. So he's going to miss out on his family's event, his niece's first birthday. And so me and him, I mean, he was really getting on my fucking nerves. And, I am here. I mean, I will support everybody. If you're here to support people in addiction, I back you 100%. But if you're going to sit there and tell me to do it your way or else I'll fail, I got two things for you right there. Because you know what? Your way, is going to make people feel pressured. Your way is going to make people feel, less of a person. And if they
isolated,
fail,
oh my God.
Oh, and if they do fail, God help you. If they fail and they do fall off the wagon, and this happens because of the guilt you put on these people, that's something you got to live with. For me, what I do and what all of us do is we'll throw suggestions. Hey, man, this is what worked for me. Meetings, in-person stuff, never. Not for me, because one, I wasn't available to it. And two, for myself, I felt very uncomfortable in that situation. And I was thinking of anything but being there at that moment. The only thing I thought about was getting the hell out of there. I wasn't paying attention. It wasn't for me. The social media part of it was instant. I mean, it's like I knew that this was my help. I know other people though who need that contact. They need that structure. They need to be in a room, at a table, in a chair next to that person. And to that person, I will come and drive you. I will go with you. I will help take you to the meetings. I will support you in the meeting. Whatever you need, I'll be there 100% for you. As long as that helps you. But it's not for me. For what. And that's the whole bottom line is we all have our things that work for each other, and don't look down on somebody if your way that you suggest to them in a very strong manner isn't the way they choose, or if it's just not the way that they go. And please don't ever say, if you don't do this you will fail.
Oh, terrible.
That you're not a friend. You are not. If you tell someone they're going to fail if they don't do it your way, then I really don't have a lot of use for you myself. I mean, this isn't, I said before, this is not an I and a me. This is us and we. That's what it is. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. In the past, we talked about confrontations and controversy. In the past, man, in the drinking crazy days, when it came from confrontation and controversy, it was usually ended with fists, and knives and guns. I had no problem with that. None. And, hell, I got a plate here from shooting, cut from being stabbed. I got no problem going that route if you want to. But now, I was interviewed one time, and the person asked me about my past and the violence and stuff like that in controversy. And I go, oh, don't get me wrong. I go, I love controversy. But now controversy brings about conversation and suggestions and ideas and different thinking. Now, you still may hate my ass afterwards and think I'm a prick, but you might, certain, hey, I said it from the beginning, man.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to like me, and that's okay. I may not like all of you, but the common goal here is to help each other and to be the best person that we can be for the healing and all that. And, and even if you don't like each other at the end of your conversation, if you can sit there and say, you know what, I still think you're an asshole, but I didn't look at things this way until we talked about it. So you know what? Okay, you're right on that. You just made huge gains right there. So you still may walk around, and then as soon as you turn around and look at your buddy, say, man, what a douchebag. But so okay, so John, that was for you, man.
We'll see what you started.
That was for you, John. You get me fired up, boy. And I tell you what, I have a good time at these. Like poor Donald right now. He's like, I don't know if I want to be on these guys' show, but that's one thing I love about us here is 1 minute we could be talking and joking around. Hell, that one time, we were talking about shit. It was a while back. We had some intense conversation and something happened, and I brought something up about here we are talking about this, and I brought up something about boogers or so. I mean, it was something so silly right in the middle of the conversation. And here things were going very, very serious and very intense, and things were starting to get a little bit, uncomfortable. And I go, yeah, can you, and go, just think this whole conversation started about someone blowing snot all over. And everyone was just like, what? And it just broke the tension. So, when you come here, you're going to get a little bit of everything, but you're going to get a whole lot of honesty, man. What do we got, Jacqueline? In my recovery, I find being around someone I know uses it, telling them how my test turned around into a great testimony and helps me. There you go. And to each their own, man. And, you're going to have some people, they may come at you because of doing that, Jacqueline. And for you not backing down, I say, God bless you. And thank you. I don't know. Do you want me to read this? Yeah. Go
ahead. Yeah.
Amen to me. Helping others is the bigger picture. I always say we can't be selfish with our sobriety. We have life experiences. Exactly.
True. Very true.
We all have the one thing that we have over people that have no idea about addiction, that for people who have never had issues with addiction, first of all, God bless you. You are very blessed to not go through the feelings that we have felt and lived through. And even us, as parts of this amazing family, we know how we feel because of the addiction and the certain feelings and emotions that come along with it. Now, will I ever know how Jacqueline actually physically feels? No, never. But will I know how Jacqueline and John and Don and Stacy, how everyone feels because of these issues? Yeah. Well, you know how this feels, Manny, when, yeah, I do been there. But do I know how you physically felt during it? No, but we all can imagine how it all feels. So, what a better group of people, family to surround yourself with than us right here. So, yep, we are all part of this amazing family, Jacqueline and John and Don and all of you, man. Did I miss after all that? Hey, I didn't even know. My man Adam, how you doing, brother? Adam's always doing amazing stuff over there. Where she's in Rhode Island too, I believe, with
I think
King
so.
Handsome, and Adam is doing some awesome stuff, especially with his music as well. Check out Adam's page. Let's
Can't see
see.
who else is on.
Donald. I'm going back a bit now, but I think we're all,
Yeah.
well, because as I've said before, what I
Tyler
see
went to bed.
Tyler went night.
Mm-hmm.
You go night. But we have a lot of times if there's not people that I respond to, it's because I'm not seeing you on the monitor.
And I'm not there. It's more
When
it's difficult.
when she's in studio,
It's
I'm
different.
looking at the monitor. We got the phone. We got the other outlets where we can see people coming in on different platforms. Here, for whatever reason, can't see them all.
Not easy.
So if
Yeah.
we did not acknowledge you, we are not ignoring you, and apologize for that. It's just, but froze for a second. But we are back.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's 1 hour and 11 minutes that you guys will never get back again. So
But
there.
we're so much more enlightened because of it.
Exactly.
You know?
So
it's
by
more
me,
valuable.
so of course, by me saying we're going to end this now, people are like,
Okay, I could hear it really well.
and
Died.
what's that? Besides that, OG's got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, right. No, that sounds like me.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
All right. Well, you guys have a great night. You guys enjoy. It is 9:09 p.m. Eastern time here in Detroit. I am going to grab me a big bowl of fruit and kick back with Susie the Wonder Dog and watch a little TV. Try to get some rest and get this back and shoulder in some working order so I can hit the gym tomorrow morning and tear it up again. And good night, guys. And please send me the link for oh, that's right. Do it. Thank you so much. Since OG didn't remind me.
Yeah.
In fact, I got to write this down right here because link to store. All right. Now, remind me to read this.
Remind you.
All right, Jacqueline. Thanks for hanging with us tonight, honey. Love you, man. John, Donald, everybody. Just have a good night. And tomorrow is Friday. I almost forgot.
Eric.
We got
Eric is on tomorrow.
Eric Moritz, I
think it is.
Eric Moritz is going to be our guest tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So please check us out. Check out Eric's story.
What time? What time again?
7 p.m. ish. Exactly.
There you go. Ish.
Promptly at 7 p.m. ish. Do not be late because if you are, well, actually, please be late because if you're on time, we won't be. So you guys have a great night. Thanks a lot for hopping on with us, man. Love you guys. And I am going to end this. I'm going to see if I can switch the, let's see, hold on a minute. Playing. See, it says intro, exit, set out. Let's see.
See what happens.
Select. Set as. Okay. Now.
The IT master. You're getting better.
Yeah.
You really are getting better.
All right. Well, I'm going to push this button, see what happens. So enjoy and check us out tomorrow promptly, exactly 7 p.m. ish Eastern time. Love you guys. Keep fighting the good fight.